Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be. I'm Jules, and this is Decisively Games. Welcome to a Saturday show. This is new. I had to, if you follow me on Twitter over at Decisively Games, you'll know that I had to postpone it because we were having some road construction outside, like on the street that goes past my house, and it was just way too loud. It was way too fucking loud, so I had to postpone. But I wanted to at least do this week because we have so much to talk about. Real quick, just so everybody knows, because I don't want people to like expect a Tuesday stream right after a Saturday stream. I'm basically going to be moving to just chatting streams. I feel like I mentioned this like prior, like last stream, but I'm going to be moving to just chatting streams until there's something that's out game wise that I'm interested in. And right now that's not a thing. We will talk about a new game that came out this past week, but I don't have it yet. Been waiting for a sale. But essentially, I will be doing these just chatting streams if there's something to talk about. And because Comic-Con happened this last weekend, there's shit to talk about. I will get there, Badger. I will get there. But hi, good morning. First of all, I still haven't really been playing Animal Crossing. I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat where I just don't care anymore. Whoops. But in all honesty, I still get on like every day and make sure that I'm getting the kiosk Nook Miles and stuff, so I can keep building it up for when I need to villager hunt next. But good news, I got a campsite villager a few days ago, and it was Rudy. And if you don't know who that is, he is my favorite jock. And as much as I don't like the jock villagers, Rudy is amazing. He's cat, number one, so obviously, check there. Number two, he reminds me of my grandpa on my mom's side. And it's because they share a name, and also because he's a jock, they also share the fact that they both really liked watching sports. So I have Rudy now. I have like Grandpa Cat on my island, and I'm really happy. And he pushed out Savannah, so I don't have to deal with that anymore. So I'm very glad. I'm still probably going to be doing a villager hunt in the future, because it's mostly because Rudy isn't like probably isn't permanent. Let me put it that way, just because I don't like jocks. But I definitely want to keep him around until I get his picture. But now, because he's the last one in, he won't be the next one out. So somebody else has to go before him. And I've been thinking about it, and I think I might let Lobo go, but I do need to get his picture first. Essentially, it's probably all like created drama in my head, but in my head, on my island, Whitney and Freya are dating. And Lobo is being kind of weird around both of them, where he likes to follow them around. I think he has a crush on both of them, and he needs to stop. I have so many like pictures and videos and stuff like that of them like walking somewhere, and Lobo being like creepy in the background. So like, might be time. But essentially, I feel like he might go, because I had been thinking about letting Shino go, even though I love her, only to bring her back later with like an amiibo. But I feel like Lobo isn't a good fit for the island, which is weird. My mom thought that he might be hanging around Whitney and Freya because they're all wolves. But one, I don't think it works like that. And two, I had Dobie a while ago, who was also a cranky wolf, just like Lobo, and he never acted like this, so I feel like it's just on Lobo. Let's see. In other news, in other binging news, I have been watching a lot of Critical Role. Basically, I told myself that I was going to start over like a while ago. At this point, it's been a bit. But I was going to start over at Campaign 1, watch all of Campaign 1, then watch all of Campaign 2, and then finally catch up with Campaign 3. Because I had started watching it, and then I just kind of like... I got distracted by other things. So I didn't end up watching it like in time with how it's been going live and stuff like that. So I'm a lot behind. So I'm just going to start over Campaign 3 as soon as I'm done with Campaign 2. I have finished Campaign 2 now, and I've finished Campaign 1, rather, and I'm almost finished with Campaign 2. Campaign 1 will always be my favorite. Not that I don't like Campaign 2, because honestly, I love Campaign 2. Caduceus is one of my favorite characters of all time that Critical Role has ever had. But I just like Campaign 1 better, especially towards the end of Campaign 2. I just kind of wish that I was back watching Campaign 1, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm almost done though, and then I'll be able to catch up on Campaign 3, and then we can talk about that shit. I'm excited. Something else that I discovered and started listening to is the Supernatural Then and Now podcast. It is done by two actors who were in the show, Rob Benedict and Richard Speight Jr. Rob Benedict, who played Chuck, and then later on something else I don't want to spoil. And then Richard Speight Jr., who played the angel Gabriel, and also the trickster. I was excited about, like, I already knew about it. Like, when it first came out, I already knew about it. But essentially, it's a podcast where these two guys who are friends because of the show, who were on the show, have started to rewatch the show and then do a podcast episode after watching every episode. And they have people on who were involved in said episodes. And I listen if it's a good episode, or B, they have really good guests. Because honestly, I love a lot of fan podcasts about Supernatural, especially because they go into kind of deeper things behind the show, like, you know, representation and you know, especially like with like queer ideals and stuff like that. Revolving around the show in general. I like watching fan-made content for Supernatural, or listening to fan-made content in general rather than content made by people who are probably never going to say boo about it. So like I said, I like these two men, mind you. Rob Benedict is also the lead singer of one of my favorite bands, Loud and Swain. But I just feel like I didn't need it. Like, I didn't need that podcast in my life. But I do listen to it when, like I said, there's a good episode, or they have a good guest. And that happened recently. They were going over season 2, episode 1. And a lot of shit happens in that, so I'm not going to spoil it. But as a note, the two guests were Jensen Ackles and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So obviously, I was going to tune the fuck in to listen to that. Obviously. However, and if you watch the show and you're like a real big fan of it, maybe you already know this, but John Winchester, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, is a piece of shit. And it was like a whole hour of listening to this podcast of them acting like John Winchester wasn't the biggest piece of shit. And I was just so angry the entire time. I was like, this is why I like listening to fan content better. Because they can go in and be like, yeah, you know, he's there, and we love Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but John Winchester is admittedly a terrible father and treated our main characters so freaking poorly. And to hear them talk about how, oh, he did the best he could, and I'm like, bitch. No, the fuck he did not. I, I, I'm fine. I'm still angry. I hear that there's some new trailer for the Winchesters out. I still haven't seen it. Whatever. I'm gonna watch episode 1 just to see Dean Winchester again, and then probably never again. But, let's see. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about the podcast, just that I disagreed with a lot of what they were saying. I feel like a lot of people also, I've seen on like Twitter and stuff, I feel like a lot of people are finding Supernatural because of Jensen being on The Boys, and people really liking Jensen's Soldier Boy and being like, oh, what else has he been in? Oh, he was in that show for like ever. Let's watch that. And seeing people's like first reactions to like baby Ackles on season 1 is hilarious. Because he looks so fucking different. He sounds so fucking different. It's just great. I am enjoying that there's like this whole new wave of people that are filtering into the Supernatural fan base because of The Boys. Meanwhile, we were all here already and filtered into The Boys fandom because of Jensen Ackles, so that's great. I made tea, by the way, as you can see, I made tea. If you're drinking tea, let me know what you're drinking. But let's see, what else? What else has been up for the past couple weeks? Because the week before this, I didn't stream because nothing had really happened, and I felt like it would be like a 20-minute stream. If y'all want 20-minute streams when nothing's happened that week, like that's fine. Like let me know. I have like I keep this list so I can like remember to talk to you guys about certain things. I've been writing a lot more. That's nice. What I'm writing right now is like really inspiring to me, and I write before I go to bed every night. In like an actual book, and then I translate it like I'm writing in a different language. I transfer it to a laptop that I have. And then ultimately like a drive, like a little drive that I have, like a thumb drive. But I write it in like an actual book at night. And I find myself going to bed like excited that I get to write more about this story that I'm working on. And that's pretty new. Like a lot of times I would just do it just to do it. Like I told myself that I would do it a few years ago. And I started writing every night before bed because I went through a time period where I didn't write anything, and it made me really sad. I was like, oh, can I still even write after all this time? And so I made a promise to myself to write every night before I go to bed. And I've been doing this for a few years now. So I have like, I have stacks of like notebooks full of like stories that, you know, are disconnected, or even just like jots of like poetry, or just like little bullet notes for like story ideas or anything like that. Basically, it's just like creative writing journals, not like diaries or anything like that. But it's nice to be excited about what I'm writing again. So that's new, and that's happened since I streamed last, and I really enjoyed that. Thanks, Badger. Yeah, it's writing is really important to me, and you know, one of these days I'm gonna get shit published. I'm gonna do it myself. You know, either or. And you guys can all buy my books, and it'll be great. Anyway, let's see. Surprisingly, I've not watched Lord of the Rings again, but I'm starting to get that itch. It's partly because of stuff that's happened at Comic-Con, so we'll get there. But like, I really want to watch Lord of the Rings again, and I have, speaking of list, I have things on my phone that tells me how many times I've watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Because I was like, I wonder how many times a year I watched that. So earlier this year, I started to like take note of when I would finish each movie, starting like this year. And if I watch it again, it will be the 6th time I watch it this year. Is that pathetic? I'm sorry. I mean, maybe. I don't care. It's fine. But essentially, I watch it for comfort reasons, and I love Lord of the Rings, and it makes me happy. So, whatever. But surprisingly, I have not watched that again. I've been watching, like, I was catching up on some stuff, and then, I watched Ms. Marvel, and Ms. Marvel was so fucking good. I finally caught up. I watched all the episodes. Oh my god, that fucking show! I am obsessed. Like, already, I loved Captain Marvel. Obviously, Carol Danvers is amazing. But like meeting Kamala Khan, I knew like this much about her character in the comics, and I know that her powers are different in the show versus the comics, but I don't care. I don't care. It's so fun and great, and I love that they focused on like a family dynamic versus a like shoehorning in some stupid romantic subplot that didn't need to be there. So I love it so much, and now I know at some point we're going to be getting the Marvels movie that's on a timeline somewhere that I have saved in pictures. But at some point we're getting the Marvels movie with Monica Rambeau as who I'm assuming is Photon, who she turned into at the end of WandaVision. By the way, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert from here on out. I'm so sorry. But of anything Marvel related, anyway. But Monica Rambeau, Kamala Khan as Ms. Marvel, and then Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. And I cannot fucking wait for that movie. It needs to be out like yesterday. Thanks. And then before we get into Comic-Con stuff, the game that came out that I was mentioning is Stray, the cat game. Everybody and their fucking brother has already played it or are currently playing it. Everybody. All the YouTubers and streamers I watch have all played it already. But I haven't, because I'm really weird about games, and I will always like watch videos of people playing it rather than like read a review. I'll watch a video of somebody playing it, and if I'm like, I wish I was playing it, then I will proceed to get the game. However, I already knew I wanted this game. It's a cat game. Are you kidding me? Like, of course I would. So I've watched bits and pieces of people playing like the beginning of it, but I didn't want to get spoiled too much, so I stopped watching all these people play it because I didn't want to know like the ending or if anything happened to the cat. God forbid. I swear to God, if anything happens to that cat. But I do know enough to know that it doesn't seem very long. I'm hearing like 4 to 6 hours. So I am currently waiting for a sale to pop up because it's not very long, unfortunately. But I am looking forward to playing it, and I will play it on here because it's available on Steam. First of all, hi, first-time viewer. Second of all, I mean, maybe, but I'm not trusting that. But yes, I heard it was short, so I'm waiting on a sale. That's it. Like, not that I don't want to fucking play a cat game, because of course I want to play a cat game. Of course I do. I'm literally I just realized this. I'm literally wearing a cat-themed Spider-Man shirt. Like, of course I'm going to play a cat game. Of course. I can't wait, honestly, but it needs to go on sale first. But I hear great things. A lot of people who have played it, people who aren't even cat people, are saying that it's great. So I'm really excited. But let's get into some Comic-Con stuff. And also, there's like some trailer things that I want to talk about like first, because they came out around Comic-Con, but I don't know if they came out like during Comic-Con, like on purpose, or if they just came out that weekend. But there are a few new trailers that I'm going to talk about, and then we'll go into all the stuff that was announced at Comic-Con. First of all, new Rings of Power trailer, and I don't even know if there's been a new one since this one, but it's the one with the Balrog at the end of it. That one came out during Comic-Con weekend, and holy shit, I cannot wait. I'm gonna be fucking insufferable. As soon as that show comes out, I'm gonna be absolutely insufferable. Not to mention, the House of the Dragon trailer came out too. And I can't wait for that either. Like, all I know about that show pretty much is that it's a prequel and that there are shit tons of dragons. Sign me up. Honestly, sign me up. Like, dragons. Dragons. I can't wait. But Rings of Power looks amazing. It looks fantastic, and I'm hearing that Howard Shore did the fucking score again, and I'm losing my mind. Like, there's nothing in this world I love more than Lord of the Rings, except maybe Marvel. But it's like right there. Like, you don't understand. I love the Lord of the Rings series, and while granted, I only really know the Hobbit world and the Lord of the Rings world, like the Fellowship world, right? I read the books. I've read all of the books, like the Hobbit and then the 3 Lord of the Rings books, right? Fuck. You know what I mean, though. And then I want to read this Silmarillion, or however you pronounce that, but I haven't. Like it's like really thick from what I hear, and it's hard to get through. So probably won't be doing that. But I'm super excited about Lord of the Rings. Or Rings of Power, rather. It looks so good. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Let's see. House of the Dragon trailer we've discussed. Shit ton of dragons. Can't wait. Also, I love Matt Smith, and I'm really glad that he's in that, and I think it'll be really interesting. Also, the Targaryens were my favorite in the actual show, barring like the last 3 episodes. So, I'm really excited to see kind of like their backstory and stuff, but really I'm mostly just excited to see more dragons. Yeah, that's basically it. More dragons. We'll get to the She-Hulk trailer because I'm going to talk about Marvel all at once. There was a John Wick 4 trailer that I was super excited about. I love those movies. They're so good. I love Keanu Reeves. I'm really excited for the next one. I don't even know when that comes out. I feel like I marked it down, but then I didn't even like realize where it came out or when it comes out. I have no idea. I will probably not see it until it gets on some sort of streaming service because I haven't gone to a movie theater in like 2 years. But I did not. They're making an Aragon series? That's amazing. That's amazing. Sign me up for that too. Score. That's interesting. I'm looking forward to that as well now. Thanks. What other trailers? Oh, Sandman. Sandman on Netflix comes out in like a week. August 5th. So like, yeah, a little less than a week. That's next Friday. Or, this upcoming Friday. Sandman looks amazing. It looks crazy. It is based off of comics, comics that, Neil Gaiman wrote. Double checking that it's a comic series. I think it's a comic series. Or a graphic novel series, mind you. Yes, it is. I'm extremely looking forward to it. You wish you could get this excited for fantasy stuff? Yeah, that's where I live. I live in the fantasy world. Like, if Like, I get that Hobbiton was built in New Zealand, but like, if I could like literally go there and see hobbits and elves and shit, like I would, and I would just stay there, and no one would see me again. I would never resurface on the internet. I would just live in Hobbiton, growing some fucking vegetables, with my wife, and just it would be the most magical thing ever. Like I want to visit Rivendell in real life. It's the best. I mean, I grew up with all this shit, right? So like, I grew up reading The Hobbit. I grew up, reading like Harry Potter and shit like that. So like magic and playing D&D. Like, I grew up with D&D in my house, or Dungeons and Dragons, if you're unfamiliar, and I have never lost the love of magic and these fantastical places that I wish I could actually be in. Like, plus I'm a writer, so the whole like getting attached to these universes that I can create in my brain, and wishing that I was there, and being able to make all these rules up, and like my character can fly. That's not real, but wouldn't it be cool if it was? So like I love fantasy and comics and high fantasy and dragons and magic and elves. Come on, like the vibes are like immaculate. I just want to chill out with elves all day in like a forest, and there's like a little brook running nearby, and somebody somewhere is playing on like a lyre. I want that in life, like, 'cause that's not bad. I just want to just get lost in the woods and never be seen again. But Sandman, back on Sandman. Sandman looks amazing. It looks weird and great. The Zelda flute thing. Oh, the ocarina. Yeah, that works. Sandman looks great. Neil Gaiman does like a lot of really good things. I was actually surprised that Sandman is on Netflix, because Good Omens, another Neil Gaiman series, is on Amazon Prime. So I was excited that it was just going to be on Netflix. And it looks good. If you're into like creepy things, like it's not like a horror show, but like it's off. It's weird. And if you like weird shit, I would definitely look at Sandman on Netflix. You could at least watch the trailer, see if you're interested. Speaking more about fantasy shit, I found out this last weekend that AMC, of all places, is doing a freaking Interview with a Vampire series. And when I tell you that I screamed when I heard that this series was coming. Interview with a Vampire is one of my favorite movies. And while, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt are not in this new series, it looks so good. The only thing that I'm worried about, or that I noticed in the trailer, is that it takes place in like the 1900s, whereas the actual Interview with the Vampire, the book and the movie, take place in the 1700s. So I'm curious about why the time changed. But also, I don't really care. Like, of course, I'm going to still watch it. I'm probably going to have to wait for it to come on something else. Much like how Walking Dead is on AMC and then has moved to Netflix. Not that I watch Walking Dead anymore, but I'm hoping that will eventually come to Netflix as well. Because I don't have like channels on my TV anymore. Essentially, it's just all streaming now. Like that's all I have. So if it doesn't go anywhere, I don't get to see it, and I need to see it. Vampire show. I need it. It comes out on October 2nd, and I can't fucking wait. Even though I won't be able to watch it that day, I need to hear about it. I need to hear that it's good, and I need to watch it, and I can't wait. It's gonna be great. It looks really good. There's also a trailer out for that. If I didn't mention that already, you should watch it. The last trailer that I wanted to mention is something that I just saw a couple days ago. Samaritan is coming out on Amazon, and I don't have it listed as to when that's happening, but it looks so good. Basically, the basic premise is that Sylvester Stallone plays an older, thought-dead superhero. I'm down. Like, are you kidding me? He's basically already a superhero in my mind anyway. Like, how has nobody casted this man as a superhero in a movie already? And maybe he was a long time ago and I'm just like forgetting, but seeing him as a superhero just fits for me. I don't know. I think it looks amazing. No, but I was gonna mention that. Thank you, Badger. I was gonna mention that when I started on the Marvel talk, even though it's DC. I get it. It's DC. But Samaritan looks really good. Another trailer that I would recommend you all to watch. It looks fantastic. Also, real quick, before I get into more stuff that was announced at Comic-Con, Harley Quinn Season 3 has started. It started on the 28th of this month, and it's on HBO Max, and I love it. And the first 3 episodes of Season 3 are out now, and they're all really good so far. I know that there's more coming, so that's not all we get, but I am excited to see where it goes. I'm not gonna like sit here and spoil camera. There we go. Thank you, camera. I'm not gonna sit here and spoil Harley Quinn, but it is an extremely good show, not for children, animated series on HBO Max, and I would recommend it 100%. I think that's it. I think before we get into Comic-Con, actual Comic-Con stuff that I know happened at Comic-Con. I think. Nope, there's a few more. I had to scroll down on my list. 2 more things. One, I restarted Daredevil because I did. Because of something that happened at Comic-Con, and I just got so excited about it. I was like, I miss Matt Murdock. I need to go back into this world. I need to watch this again, and it's so good. It's so good. I always like pick up on things further times watching it, and I think probably having a film minor has helped me like look critically at film made in general, where I'm able to like notice little details and things here and there. And I love watching these series again. I think it's so fun, and I'm just enjoying the fuck out of watching Daredevil again. That show is so good. I was so worried about it being picked up by Disney that Charlie Cox wouldn't be Matt Murdock anymore, or that it wouldn't be as like dark and gritty, or it would be rated like PG-13. And I'm like, no. But I have so much trust in them now that I've heard some things that came out at Comic-Con, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for the new series. We need to talk about it, but we're not there yet. Yes, 100%. We've talked about this, Badger. The fight scenes in Daredevil are some of the best choreographed fight scenes of all time. Yeah, those hallway fights and shit. Yeah, absolutely. Also, Charlie is the best Matt Murdock we've ever had. Charlie Cox, the actor, he's amazing. He's so good at him. He's so like he will forever be my favorite Matt. Forever. I don't care who plays him in the future. And I know I know that he loves the character of Matt Murdock as much as I do. So I also love that. Last but not least, I saw that Bear and Breakfast is now out on Steam. And when I say last, I just mean before we talk about Comic-Con as a whole. Bear and Breakfast is a time management type of game. But you're running a bed and breakfast, and you're a bear. That's it. That's it. We might see that in the future on here, just so you know, because I had heard about it for a while, and I was like, what is that game? I don't understand. And then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, oh, it's exactly what it says on the tin. It's a Goldilocks climate. I mean, maybe. I have no idea. I haven't watched anybody play it. That's the one thing that I need to do. I need to actually watch somebody play it, because like I said, I don't read reviews. I watch people play stuff. So I can get more of like an idea of what the actual game is like. So now I feel like we can go through stuff that actually happened at Comic-Con. First thing I just want to mention, Black Adam. I am not a huge DC fan in general, unless it's like a Harley Quinn, Harley Quinn in general kind of thing. But I am looking forward to Black Adam. I think it looks great. I think it looks like tentatively great, because a lot of DC movies are shit, right? So I want it to be good. I want it to be as good as the trailer looks. And seeing Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, at Comic-Con in his entire like Black Adam suit looked cool. Also kind of dorky. Coming from a giant nerd, little bit weird, but like, I mean, I'm glad he likes the role that much to dress up at Comic-Con. That's fun. Do I still play World of Warcraft? Yes. Yeah, all the time. I've been playing more so recently because there was like an experience buff. I don't play it on stream, because a lot of times I just kind of zone out when I'm playing WoW, and I'll have something playing like right now Daredevil on my second monitor, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. I started playing right before Burning Crusade came out, and I have played ever since then. So I am completely current. I have one max level character, and I have a whole bunch that are waiting to be leveled as soon as the new expansion comes out. But I am extremely up to date with everything going on with World of Warcraft. I just don't play it on here because, one, when I first started streaming, it didn't seem like there was like a huge audience for it, and two, I just super zone out whenever I am playing it. So it's not fun for people to watch if I'm just mindlessly going through quests that I've definitely done before, because I have a lot of alts. But I do like World of Warcraft. It's I don't do the whole like end game raiding thing, because I don't have a huge guild that plays anymore. It's mainly just me and my mom who have the guild now that we were left with. But I will go back and farm mounts and transmog and stuff like that in older raids. So like current raids, I'll play in a few years after I outlevel them and I can solo them and stuff like that. Yes, I play with my mom. My mom is my healer. At least on our main characters. My main character is a dwarf paladin, and hers is a human priest. And yeah, like I think it's one of the coolest things is that my mom is into playing World of Warcraft with me. I love that. She also really likes Animal Crossing and Cozy Grove on Nintendo Switch. I wish I had a badass mom like that. Absolutely. She would probably play D&D with me too if I asked her to, because I know my sister's into it as well, and try to get her and her husband to play D&D with me as a DM is definitely something that I want to do at some point. Oh, okay. What are you guys talking about Aquaman 2? Did you hear about the leak of Affleck reviving his role of Batman in Aquaman 2? I have not. Honestly, I haven't been keeping up with a lot of Aquaman 2 news, simply because I kind of refuse to see it at this point. if yeah, as exactly like you're saying, if they cut her out and it's guaranteed she's not in the film, I will watch it because I think Jason Momoa makes a really good Aquaman, but I don't want to support her at all. I refuse to see it otherwise. Um, so I don't um, I don't know if they could recast her at this point because from what I've heard from leaks, Mira is a fairly large part of that movie. I think at minimum we'll get her cut out of like trailers and stuff for it, so people are like thinking she's not in the movie and then go see it and then discover that she's exactly in as much as she's always been. Um, so yeah, essentially I will only see it if she's cut out. So I don't know that that's gonna happen. I did like the first one. I know a lot of people it's kind of like hit or miss, but I really enjoy Jason Momoa. That probably stems from Game of Thrones, but I really like him in a lot of things that he's done. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I doubt that they're going to be able to take her out. I think it's way too late in the production process to take her completely out. So I'm just kind of resigned to never seeing it. And who knows, honestly. I feel like DC is just in an absolute fucking hole with their movies. Like, and I know you said that you don't watch superhero movies, but in general, the DC movies have not been anywhere near as good or as profitable as Marvel movies. Like, they're never as good. They don't ever do as well in the box office. And now there's obviously the fact that they need to kind of weave around the Amber Heard situations if they even can. And then there's everything going on with Ezra Miller and the Flash movie. And it's like, that's either never gonna get released or it's gonna get released and it's gonna fucking bomb. Because again, it's too late in the film process, like processing and editing and production in general, to completely recast him or take him out of his own or them out of their own movie. And DC and Warner just fired the guy in charge of the DC movies. I mean, not surprised. But like I do like DC. I grew up watching, the animated like Justice League and stuff like that. I do like DC. I like a lot of the characters in DC. I don't know as much about them as I do Marvel because Marvel is really where my heart lies. But I would love to see DC movies get as good as those movies are. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But essentially, I just wanted to touch on Black Adam, and then just kind of like move on from there. But essentially, when DC comes out with an announcement, I'm like tentatively excited, but I just kind of like temper it with, well, they all sucked in the past, so who knows how well this is gonna do. But I'll still probably watch it, depending on where it comes out. Because again, haven't been in a movie theater in however many years. So the very first thing that I saw Comic-Con news about was the trailer for the new Dungeons and Dragons movie. And I have thoughts. First of all, whoever gave Chris Pine the role for being a bard is my fucking hero. Like, that he is so perfectly cast for that role. Like, if you haven't seen Into the Woods, which is a musical, so a lot of people haven't seen that, or aren't interested in seeing that, mind you, I feel like you don't understand. But he is so perfectly cast as a bard. Perfectly. Trust me. And also, Michelle Rodriguez is in it, and I love her. I know she basically plays the same person in every movie she's in, but I love her, and I've loved her since I was like a very younger girl anyway. And I'm excited to see her be what seems to be a barbarian in this new Dungeons and Dragons movie. Um, Something I was kind of iffy about was the red-haired druid in the trailer. I thought she was like almost like rip off is a strong word. I don't mean that. I thought she was like an allusion to Keyleth, the druid from Critical Role. But thinking about it more, I was like, okay, so yes, but also the whole red-haired druid thing, that wears green is kind of like a trope in D&D, right? Like a lot of times if somebody's going to be a druid, they're going to be somebody with pointy ears and be pale and have red hair. If it's a female character, right? So I put that aside for the time being, but my first instinct when I saw her character was, oh my god, that looks like Keyleth. And I loved that. But I guess she's supposed to be a tiefling. Like I didn't realize that for like a really long time after watching that trailer. But she has like these tiny horns, and I guess in one split second of the trailer you can see a tail. But she doesn't look very tiefling-y to me, but that's just me. Like I know that a lot of tieflings look different in the books and stuff that have been published, and you can see people's like art and portrait art of their characters, and some people have very human looking tieflings, but I guess I was expecting a tiefling to look like a Critical Role tiefling. Like in campaign 1 there were red tieflings and white tieflings that we got to know, and then in campaign 2 there's a blue tiefling and then a purple tiefling, so I was just kind of expecting it to be more fun, I guess is the right word. But I still think that the actress playing this druid is going to do a good job. I really liked her in the It movies, the It Chapter 1 specifically. I thought she was really great. So I am looking forward to seeing her as this druid. Now, as a note, I do think that a D&D movie is going to be fun. However, I feel like they need to do certain things so that we know it's a D&D movie and not just some fantasy movie, right? So like the fact that they're fighting dragons and there's a bard and a druid and a barbarian, like I get it. I get that it's D&D like, but in order to make it D&D and not a fantasy movie, it needs to have D&D elements in it. Like I'm talking like a Princess Bride type of deal where you're seeing somebody tell the story and then it zooms in and like into the game or whatever, and then it becomes the movie kind of thing. Like I need to see a DM and I need to see all the actors that are playing like the druid and stuff at a table in normal clothes rolling dice and then going into the movie, or else it's not a fucking D&D movie, it's a fantasy movie. It's not I'm just saying. Or like I feel like if you're just gonna have it be a fantasy movie, every fantasy movie could be a D&D movie. I feel like I'm moving too much from my camera. I'm sorry, it keeps going out of focus. I feel like every fantasy movie could be a D&D movie. Like Lord of the Rings has a ranger and fighters and wizards and shit, right? So like you could call that a D&D movie. So what makes the Dungeons and Dragons movie different from all those other fantasy movies? Like I need it to have D&D elements. I need to watch them playing an actual tabletop version of the game. I need to somebody mentioned this and I was like, oh my god, that's perfect. Somebody mentioned this on Twitter, but I need one of them to die mid-movie and then for that exact same actor to come in later playing an entirely different character and nobody questions it, because that's what fucking happens in actual D&D games. Somebody's character dies and then they pick a new character and then play that for the rest of the campaign, right? But it's still the same person playing the separate characters. Like I need these little details so that it's actually a D&D movie and not just a fantasy movie, right? But overall, it looks good. Like it looks ridiculous, but it looks fun and good. And of course, I'm gonna fucking see it. I think it's only in theaters, which sucks. So that means it's gonna be a while before it gets somewhere on streaming that I can watch it. But I mean, come on, it looks so good. It looks fun. I like that it's not taking itself super seriously, being a D&D movie, so that's fun. Okay, let's see. I think now it's just in order of stuff that like I discovered, like when I discovered it. The next thing I found out was that the Teen Wolf movie, Teen Wolf being a show on MTV, based off of the movies with Michael J. Fox in them. Teen Wolf was a show that I really enjoyed. I had like a love to hate relationship with it, for sure. Or a hate to love relationship with it, maybe, is probably better. And there were a few characters that I really loved in that show. And when I first heard that they were making a movie as like a sort of like end cap to the series in general, but I was excited about it, honestly. A teaser trailer for the movie released during Comic-Con, and I don't know how to talk about this without spoiling, so if you give a shit about Teen Wolf spoilers, maybe don't listen. But it seems like they're going after a specific storyline in the movie that has been done in the show, revolving around a villain known as the Nagetsune. And in the show, there were two characters that were what's the word I'm thinking of? Like there were two characters that were absolutely needed for that plot line. And those two characters, played by two actors, those two actors are not in the movie. Like they're not signed up to do the movie at all. So it seems so weird and off that they're trying to make this storyline happen, or seemingly, as far as the trailer's concerned, that they're trying to make it happen, and then it's not involving two characters that were intrinsic to the plot. Like, how are you going to do that? I don't understand. But then as soon as the Teen Wolf trailer ended, and then they had like a panel talking about it a little bit, fucking Sarah Michelle Gellar, of all people, walks out on stage and then introduces the fact that they're making a spin-off to Teen Wolf and that she's gonna be in it. And my little Buffy heart died a little, and I was just, I'm so excited. I don't even care what it's about. Like, it's Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's Buffy. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I will watch her in anything. Thanks. Thank you. Like, it's probably going to be absolute garbage, but I don't care. I'm going to watch it anyway. Ben Affleck and Jason Momoa reunite during reshoots for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. It could mean that they're replacing Mira, but it could also just mean that they tested like a certain scene or an ending or something and it didn't test well. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to take Mira out, because like this might be a major spoiler, but it also could be bullshit because we don't really know. But from what I'm hearing about Aquaman 2, there seems to be like a baby involved, and I'm assuming that the baby is from Aquaman and Mira. You can't really get rid of Mira if there's a kid involved suddenly. So I kind of doubt that that's gonna do anything. Reshoots don't necessarily mean anything. Reshoots just could mean, oh, this didn't end up how we thought it would, and then we tested it with audiences and they thought that this was off, or this didn't make sense, or this didn't end well, so we're gonna try something different, essentially. Let's see. And then we get into a lot of Marvel stuff, like a lot. So first, I'm gonna talk about She-Hulk. The trailer, the new trailer we got during Comic-Con is amazing. It's just, it's so good. how how is it this good? Like when the trailer first came out, like the teaser trailer for She-Hulk, and you didn't even get to see what she looked like as She-Hulk. I was just very lukewarm about it, even though I love everything Marvel. I was just like, I mean, that looks okay. Like, I like the actress that's gonna play She-Hulk. I think that'll be good. And then we started getting more and more and more and more leading up to this trailer that came out at Comic-Con, and now I'm just like full bore, like I can't wait for She-Hulk. Holy shit. Like it looks so good, and I'm hearing that it's like a half-hour like sitcom show. Like it's supposed to be like a comedy show. I can't fucking wait. Like it's gonna be so good. I'm excited. I am absolutely excited, and I'm 100% excited because at the very end of that trailer for She-Hulk, Matt pops up. Or, well, I should say Daredevil pops up, and I don't know if he's just gonna like be sprinkled in at the very end. I don't care. 60 seconds of Charlie playing Matt Murdock as Daredevil is all I need. Like I don't care. I will watch the whole series just to find that scene. But because he's a lawyer and because She-Hulk is a lawyer, I feel like it'll be more like meshed in than we think it is. But essentially, let me bring up my desktop here real quick. So the first thing we get is this huge thing of Phase 4. Now we've seen a lot of this already, right? WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man No Way Home, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Multiverse, Thor Love and Thunder is out. I have not seen it because I don't go to theaters, but I'll see it as soon as it comes out on Disney Plus, whenever that will be. Ms. Marvel. And then next, on the 17th of August, like 2 weeks away, is going to be She-Hulk. And I'm really excited. But Phase 4 ends with Wakanda Forever, which is Black Panther 2. The trailer for that released as well. And when I tell you I cried, holy shit. That it's like a teaser, right? Like that's all it is, but it seems like it's so long and it has so much going on and I have no idea what's going on. But I am so excited to see what they do with this movie, and I love that they are very clearly still honoring Chadwick's memory. Chadwick Boseman being the actor who played T'Challa in the first Black Panther and also in Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame. I'm so excited for this movie. It's going to be another thing that I won't be able to watch until it's out on Disney Plus. But like I keep saying like over and over and over again, oh I'm excited. But this movie, watching the trailer, Jesus, just watching the trailer made me emotional. What the fuck is the movie gonna do? And the visuals are amazing. The cinematography is amazing. The acting, hearing Angela Bassett speak in that trailer is just so moving and fantastic. And I really think it's going to be one of the better films, at least this year, if not of all of Phase 4 slash MC movies in recent history. I really think it's going to be fantastic. I really, really do. But that will be it for Phase 4, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what essentially they set up for Phase 5, which is in the next picture. Because we got all this shit. It's like so overwhelming that it all happened at once. But essentially, there is... we're finishing up Phase 4. We get a whole look at Phase 5, and then we get like a little sprinkling of Phase 6. But we get more Phase 6 news coming in September for D23, which is like Comic-Con, but Disney specifically. So I don't see it on here, but we did get news that we're getting a season 2 for the What If series. And I am looking forward to that. Hold on just one sec. Let me put this back on. I am looking forward to that. Specifically, a couple of the What If situations. I'm looking forward to seeing the one that includes Tony on Sakaar. Simply because I just want to see Tony again. Even though it'll be animated. I miss Tony so fucking much, and I know that Robert Downey Jr. isn't voicing Tony in What If. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I can pretend that he's still alive somewhere. And then second of all, they're showing that another situation that happens in What If Season 2 is that Captain Carter meets the Winter Soldier. And I'm not looking forward to that episode at all because I was excited about it, and then I like tempered myself and I was like, wait a second. The only reason that he popped out of his conditioning was because it was Steve. Because Steve helped him out of that. And I'm not going to get into a whole thing about, like, you know, wanting Steve and Bucky to have been together because they are just fucking perfect for each other. But I'm not going to get into it. I'm not. But the whole reason he popped out of his conditioning in Winter Soldier is because he saw Steve. Because Steve called him Bucky. Because he knew Bucky. And I feel like if Captain Carter sees Winter Soldier, even if she sees his face and recognizes him, I don't think she'll have the same mentality of, I have to save him. Like, I know him since I was a kid. Like, she doesn't have that sort of connection with him. She's just gonna, like, fucking kill him. Or he's gonna kill her, and that's totally fine, too. Like, like that's not gonna go well. It's really not. So I don't really want to see that. I'm good. Also, another show that I don't think is on these like timeline things is that Marvel Zombies, which started as a What If situation, is getting their own series, and it's going to be rated M, and I cannot. I'm excited. I loved that episode. It's my favorite episode of What If Season 1 is the Zombies one. I thought that was fantastic. And I do know that Elizabeth Olsen is coming back to voice Scarlet Witch in Marvel Zombies. So I am looking forward to that. I think that'll be good. So now I think we can just talk about the timelines then. The first thing that was announced was the Ant-Man and Wasp movie, the next one anyway. I know zero about this film, nothing besides the fact that it has, you know, Ant-Man, Wasp, and then Ant-Man's daughter Cassie in it. That's it. That's all I know. I know zero. But I did see something about how a lot of it takes place in the quantum realm, so that will be interesting. And then also that Kang the Conqueror from the Loki series is in like the poster. That's it. That's all I know. That's how little I have of knowledge of this upcoming movie. And it comes out early next year. At some point we'll get information. And then some point in spring 2023 we're getting the Secret Invasion series, which I think will be good. I know that Colby Smulders, who plays Maria Hill, is supposed to be in that. So I guess it's not going to be an animated series. It's just going to be an actual series. So that should be good. I'm assuming Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury is going to come back. So, again, no idea. The quantum realm is also very much the key to the multiverse. Sure, I don't know that. Is that true? I have no idea. But Secret Invasion is in like the comics and stuff. It has to do with the Skrulls, right? Like the alien race that was around the in Captain Marvel, the green people who like transform into people and stuff like that. Obviously, they're not gonna have a direct correlation necessarily to the comics, but that's basically what I know. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, the volume 3, right? 3? I think 3. That's next. After that, in May of 2023. I'm not like a giant nerd for Guardians of the Galaxy. I do know that this is the last one. I mean, I do know that the Guardians are also in the latest Thor movie, but I don't really know anything about it besides that. I don't know what's coming in this final movie. Just that it will be its final movie, essentially. After that, in summer of 2023, we have both Loki Season 2 coming, but also Echo. They're probably going to be staggered a couple months apart, so when one ends, you have a couple weeks and then another one will start. Kind of like how Ms. Marvel just ended, like a week ago? 2 weeks? When did it end? It definitely ended the last. And then now in 2 more weeks, we've got She-Hulk starting. So that kind of like bracket, essentially. So Echo is going to be, I know, revolving around the woman that was in Hawkeye. And I'm excited to see that as well. I need to come up with like a synonym. I need to have like a list of synonyms of excited. So I'm not just saying that like 8,000 times in a row, but you get me, right? Like I love Marvel. I'm stoked to see all of this stuff. Loki Season 2 should be good and interesting. I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I hope that he finds his way back to his brother. I get that they want them to have kind of like separate things. And I don't know if there's ever gonna be another Thor film, but like I just want him to get back to his brother. Fuck. Like I want them to have like that familial bond, because it seemed like they were really close, and then he pulled like a butter knife on Thanos and it ended poorly. But now he's back. So I just want him to go back and be with his brother in New Asgard, or whatever ends up happening at the end of the Thor movie that I haven't seen. And then in July, after Loki, is the Marvels movie, which I mentioned already, with Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, and then also Monica Rambeau. So I think that'll be great. After that is Blade, which we've heard about for a while now. I'm excited to see it rebooted. I liked the Wesley Snipes Blade movies, but I'm always down for stuff that's actually connected to the MCU. So I think it'll be good. We know so little about it besides who's playing Blade, and I think he's gonna do amazing. He's literally an Oscar-winning actor, so why wouldn't he? At the very least, Oscar nominated, but I think he's actually an Oscar winner. After that is Ironheart, which I know almost less than nothing about. The only thing I know is that I think it revolves around Tony Stark's daughter. I don't know. I have literally no idea. I assume that Rhodey will be back in Ironheart. Like it would make sense. But besides that, we don't know shit. And then the Agatha series got a name change. It is now going to be called Agatha Coven of Chaos. She was an absolute standout for me. Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness was an absolute standout for me in WandaVision, and I really look forward to seeing her reprise that role in the Agatha series. I think because everybody really loved her as Agatha in WandaVision, they were like, yeah, let's give her own series. It seems like people really like her. Also, I'm crossing my fingers that Scarlet Witch will show up at some point. in the series, please? Please? Like, you can't just have the last Scarlet Witch movie end that way and then not announce like a solo movie or another show or like another season of WandaVision at fucking Comic-Con, guys. Like, you can't do this to me. Also, I have heard that, Badger, but there's no fucking confirmation. Unless I get it from Elizabeth Olsen's mouth herself, I'm not gonna know that Scarlet Witch is coming back to like live action, obviously, because we're getting her back in What If, but we don't know if she's gonna be coming back in live action. Like, I need it. Like, are you kidding me? I need a resolution to that fucking story. So hopefully, because Agatha isn't slated until winter of 23 or 24, which is a very wide range, I hope that we at least get some sort of like cameo or like an allusion to like something leading on down the road. Anything. Please bring Scarlet Witch back to me, please. I need it. And then what started my entire rewatch, partly was him showing up in the She-Hulk trailer, but part of it was we got an actual announcement of the new Daredevil series coming to Disney Plus in spring of 2024, and that seems so far away. I hate it that it's like 2 years away at minimum, because they might push shit back. It might get moved around, like who fucking knows. But Daredevil Born Again is coming to Disney Plus in spring of 2024, and we got it got announced that it was going to be rated R for sure, and that it's going to have 18 episodes. 18! Holy shit! Because all of the other Disney Plus shows have all been like, what, like 6 to 10? Some shit like that? Like, I could pull it up right now, but I'm not going to. But like, we don't have any other Disney Plus show that has that many episodes in a season. So I'm so fucking excited. I love Daredevil, if that's not evident. So I'm really excited to see where they take the show from there, for sure. I just, I can't wait. And so hearing about this new series that's finally been confirmed, and we sort of know when it's going to be, and then seeing him pop up in the She-Hulk trailer, which I'm sure will lead into him having his own series. I'm so fucking excited. So obviously, the first thing I did after hearing this news was, I think I'm gonna watch Daredevil again. And that's basically what I did. I'm on like episode 7 of season 1, so I'm not very far into it, but I'm excited. Obviously. Favorite word of the day. Bringing her back is super easy. White Vision heard her scream and moved time and space to get there and phased her through rubble. She's unconscious and he's caring for her now. His love for her is as strong as her love for him. I mean, yeah, like I thought White Vision was going to show up in Multiverse, but he didn't, and I don't understand why. Like, I felt like that could have been like a very easy tie-in to either another season of WandaVision or, you know, leading into Agatha. But like even like an end credit scene, like where we get like just like a little dusting, like a little tiny little dusting of goodness at the end of that fucking movie. But nope, we don't get any of that. Nothing. So we just have to like hope that she's gonna come back in some sort of way. Also we got confirmed that the Captain America 4, is that right? Because Civil War was a Captain America movie, even though it shouldn't have been. We had Captain America First Avenger, and then Captain America Winter Soldier, which is my favorite Captain America movie, if not my favorite MCU movie in general. But then we had Captain America Civil War, and then, yeah, so this will be the 4th one. This Captain America New World Order got announced, with Sam Wilson reprising his fucking role as Captain America from Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I am so looking forward to seeing him. as actual Cap, rather than like the last like episode or so that we got to see him as Cap in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sam Wilson and you know in um, also Anthony Mackie. I adore him, and I think he's fantastic as Captain America. I'm really looking forward to him leading a whole movie just being Captain America. That's going to be great. And then finally, Phase 5 supposedly is going to end with Thunderbolts. I think that's what's happening. Yeah, Phase 5 ends with Thunderbolts, which I know like this much about, like this much. I have a feeling that Yelena's going to come back, and possibly the Red Guardian, like her dad. And I've heard that James Barnes' Bucky is going to be in Thunderbolts as well. Because we didn't get a confirmation that Bucky was going to be in the new Captain America movie. He could be in Thunderbolts. Hell, he could be in both. Like, we have no fucking idea. But also, Thunderbolts aren't, like, good guys. So if we could, like, stop... like, I am a Bucky fan over all of these bitches. So, like, if we could just stop hurting Bucky Barnes, that would be great. If he could just not be a villain for a little bit, that would be even better. Like, can we stop? Can we stop? Can we stop that? I'm just saying. Yeah, so I've heard, Badger, but again, we don't get confirmation of this shit until there's, like, trailers out. So, like, I can assume that he's in Captain America New World Order. I can assume from things that I've heard about Thunderbolts that he could be in Thunderbolts, even though I don't want him to be. But we don't know. We have no idea. Also, I was talking to my mom the other day about characters that I want to interact with each other. And I need Bucky to meet Matt Murdock, because they have that same sort of fucking snarky attitude, and I feel like they would get along so well, and I need that to happen. I don't know how. No idea. Maybe he could represent him in a case after Thunderbolts or during Thunderbolts. I have no idea. I'm just saying it needs to happen. Like, I feel like they would have the best friend chemistry ever, and it would be fantastic. Trust me, guys. Trust me. It needs to happen. They are so similar in character. Like, they have a very similar personality, and I would just love that. Please and thank you. And then, of course, we get, like, a sneak peek at Phase 6. What is interesting here is not only are they redoing another Fantastic Four, which is interesting. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, we have no idea who's going to be cast or anything like that yet. But I do think it's interesting because, obviously the stuff is, the stuff with, Mr. Fantastic in Multiverse of Madness, obviously they could use the same actor, but they could do a completely different actor because, you know, it's the multiverse, so maybe this other Mr. Fantastic isn't that same Mr. Fantastic. Like, they can do whatever the fuck they want, right? So, like, who even knows what they're going to do with that? But the most interesting thing about the sneak peek for Phase 6 is that there's, like, a very obvious... I wanted to know why they did it this way, but there's, like, a very obvious blank space here. Like, can we talk about that? Like, why, guys? Why is there this blank space here? You could have just had all three and had it been, like, parallel and equal on each side. But you had this, and then you had a big-ass space. Like, there should be something there. Like, here. Like, right here. And then they continue. I'm just saying. Like, I know you can't see my hands as I'm pointing at my screen. But, like, seems like there's something missing there. Just as a thought. But also, this is winter 2024, and like I mentioned, Agatha has a thing of winter 2023 or 24, so she could go in that spot as well. But what is most interesting is that prior to 2020, prior to the absolute devastation that Endgame and ultimately and that Endgame ultimately, provided. We were getting Avengers movies roughly once a year in like summertime, right? Like July, August time, right? And then sometimes it would be a little bit longer, and then it would be around like Christmas, or we'd get like singular hero movies around Christmas, and then like the Avengers movies would be in like May to like August or whatever. What is interesting is that in 2025 they're saying that we're going to have two Avengers movies, like 5 months apart. How? How? Like what? Like 4 months, 4 months apart. Because reading this, it's saying May 2nd, 2025 and November 7th, 2025. Now we know absolute jack shit about either of these movies, but like, how are they going to have that like back to back essentially? How? Like, do they both need to be Avengers movies? Like the same way that Captain America Civil War shouldn't have been a Captain America movie. It should have just been like an Avengers movie. The same way that Multiverse of Madness shouldn't have been a Doctor Strange movie. It should have been a Scarlet Witch movie. I feel like one of these is going to not feel like an Avengers movie. And they're just calling it Avengers to get like that big sort of like pull towards like the theater or to people's attention. Like, I don't think that these are both the Avengers movies that we think they're gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, one of these is not going to be as Avengery as the other one. That's my prediction. And then obviously at the bottom here we have fall 2024, winter 2025, spring 2025, and then summer 2025, completely empty. And that's not saying that they don't have anything planned, because we have confirmation that at D23 in September, we're going to be getting the rest of the 6 projects that are coming with Phase 6. So I do think that there's more shit that they want to announce. Let's all keep our fingers crossed for a Scarlet Witch movie, a solo movie, or at the very least, another WandaVision season. Like, please. Please. Also, if you want to like throw in like a Bucky Barnes solo movie or a solo show, like, I'm good. I'm fine with that. Like, whatever you guys want to do. Also, another pair of characters that I really want to see together in a movie or show would be Yelena and Bucky. I feel like they know each other in the comics, right? So if not in Thunderbolts, I feel like we could see them in a movie together at some point, and it would be really fun. Also, I really want to see Yelena back with Kate Bishop, because their dynamic was fantastic. I loved seeing Haley Steinfeld and Florence Pugh just kind of like bounce off of each other like that. It was fantastic. Yelena is my favorite character out of all of the new kind of MCU people that they've introduced, because during Phase 4 they've introduced a whole bunch of people to like kind of like further on the like mantles of their specific people, essentially. So in Falcon and Winter Soldier, you had Falcon becoming Captain America. In Black Widow, you had them introducing Yelena, and obviously Yelena went on in Hawkeye to kind of become a sort of like a Black Widow type character, and also in Hawkeye you had Kate Bishop being a sort of Hawkeye type character, and then in Ms. Marvel, you have Ms. Marvel not replacing Captain Marvel, but like also coming into her own, and then She-Hulk instead of Hulk. So it all seems like they're all kind of like moving into like a new direction, right? So I do think that out of all of those new people that they have announced, as much as I love Kamala Khan, because holy shit, she has my whole heart, Yelena is just something special. Like, I literally found the exact necklace that she wore in Hawkeye, and I found it on Etsy, and I got it, and it's mine now, and I wear it almost every day because it makes me think of Yelena. That's how far deep I am into this shit. But I feel like that's everything. Let me check my little list here, but I feel like that's everything. There was so much information that came out of Comic-Con with Marvel and stuff, and it was almost to the point where I'm like, this is almost to the point where it's exhausting. Like, it's so overwhelming that we got all of this information, that there's all of this stuff lined up, and I know that some people have thought that it's like I said, exhausting, because my brain doesn't want to think of another word right now. That they thought that all of these upcoming things were just kind of exhausting. However, as someone who loves and lives and breathes Marvel shows and characters, I'm not exhausted, and I'm really excited. Tentatively for some things more than others, but only because I don't know anything about Secret Invasion, or I don't know anything about Ironheart, and I hardly know anything about Thunderbolts. But like, I think people are thinking that it's going to be just all in their face at once, when really it's going to be like, okay, here's a movie. A few months later, here's a show, and that will trickle out over time because they don't release things all at once. And then a few weeks later, maybe another show, and then maybe like a few months after that, like a movie that will like tie into another show. And it's less exhausting more than it's like a constant like drip feed of good content. Like, let's not look a good gift horse in the mouth, right? Like, we were starving for content after Endgame because we were all broken, and now they're like, here, you can have this constant like little hamster drip feeder of all of this stuff. So I'm not complaining. Please give me more, Marvel. Thank you, XO. Like, I don't care. But I'm excited to see where it takes us. As a note, though, seeing this hurts. Seeing the Avengers logo hurts, because I'm thinking of my Avengers, the ones that started the Avengers. I'm thinking of Natasha Romanoff and Tony Stark and Steve fucking Rogers not being there anymore, and I'm like, I don't want a fucking Avengers movie without them. I don't want that. So I don't know that I'm really looking forward to those two movies. I'm looking for of everything else, because I do enjoy the MCU in total, like the world that they're building. I enjoy it, but at the same time, I am very acutely aware of what's missing at all times. At all times. So when I watch Hawkeye, I'm acutely aware of who's missing. I'm acutely aware that Natasha's not there, and that Tony isn't there, right? I'm acutely aware in Falcon and Winter Soldier that Steve isn't around anymore. And in WandaVision and in Multiverse, I'm acutely aware that she no longer has like that support system that she had. Like Clint and Sam and Vision and stuff like that, and her brother. Like, I'm acutely aware that they're not all there, and it breaks my fucking heart. And in Thor, I am going to be acutely aware that Loki's not there. So it sucks. And in Wakanda Forever, even in the trailer, just the trailer, you are acutely aware that Chadwick isn't there as T'Challa, and that T'Challa is gone. And so it hurts. It hurts to see the Avengers logo, because it's gonna suck those being the first Avengers movies without Captain. I'm gonna say Steve Rogers, because Sam Wilson is fucking Captain America and he's fantastic. But without Steve Rogers there, without Tony fucking Stark there, like, without Natasha Romanoff being Black Widow, like, I love these new characters that they're introducing, but it doesn't replace what we had before. So I am least looking forward to these movies. Obviously, when they come out, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I'm so excited! I can't wait for these movies to come out. Like they're coming out in like a month. Oh, okay, can't wait. But in the back of my head, I'm gonna be like, I fucking miss RDJ, man. Like fuck. Of course I am. Yeah. So tentatively, not super stoked about the next Avengers movies. I'm excited to hear about what's going on with Kang, because I thought that whole thing at the end of Loki was very interesting. But in general, not looking forward to these two movies. Looking forward to pretty much everything else. Pretty much. A big emphasis on Daredevil. So excited for Daredevil. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. So that's pretty much it for my Just Chatting stream today. I am going to keep y'all updated on my Twitter about when the next stream will be. If you want to be updated, please follow me on Decisively Games at Twitter. I'll just put it in chat. Let me do that real quick. There we go. In case you need like any sort of like link or anything, I think you just click in that, or at least copy and paste it, and then find me on Twitter. I post all of my updates about when I'm going live and what I'm going live with. Essentially, I'm only doing Just Chatting streams right now as I try and figure out some video editing, and I am getting more acclimated to that, even though I don't feel like I am great at it. I'm trying to figure it out, right? So essentially, I want to do Just Chatting streams, but I'm only going to be on here unless there's if there's something to talk about. And obviously, there was a shit ton of stuff to talk about, and this would have been done on Tuesday had it not been for road construction. I highly doubt that anything will happen between today and Tuesday to talk enough about for a fuller stream on Tuesday, because I would normally be streaming every Tuesday. So I will send out an update probably Sunday, like tomorrow on my, because I'll usually do it like a few days before so that people can like know what to expect. And then just like keep an eye out. Like if there's shit going on, I'll stream and we can talk about it. If there's not, then I'll like type a few sentences into Twitter and we can kind of catch up on there. But essentially, that's it. I'm done. Thanks for hanging out with me and talking nerdy shit and talking, DC and Marvel and all good dragon things and fantasy things and elves and and I hope you enjoyed hanging out as much as I liked being here, because I love Marvel, man. Like so much stuff at once, but there's so much to look forward to in like the upcoming times. And then in like 2 weeks, She-Hulk is starting, so it's gonna be great. I just know it, and I know that's only a 30-minute like sitcom, but I feel like it's gonna be great. It looks good. Anyway, do me a favor if you're not already and you feel like this was fun, throw me a follow on here. Do maybe like a cheeky subscribe if you want to, but don't feel like you have to. But yeah, I will see you guys all when I see you next, but do make sure to follow my Twitter so that you're just like up to date when I go live, or if I'm going live at all. Because I highly doubt I'll be going live this Tuesday. Yeah, it was fun hanging out with you guys, and I will see you the next time I see you. Thanks for hanging out and talking to me about Comic-Con and nerdy shit, and see you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining me.